Micah Parsons coming to Las Vegas, Raiders looking to extend Jakobi Meyers next, and the GOAT shows up to training camp for the very first time. Yo, what is up, Raidernation? It's your boy Samoa Raider back at it again with yet another video. If this is the very first time you guys are coming across this channel and you love Raiders content just like this, then hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon button to notify you guys when I upload more videos just like this. Now, first things first, let's talk about Micah Parsons. Now, we all know that Micah Parsons has been going back and forth with the Dallas Cowgirls, and they still haven't had a deal done yet. Which brings us to today, where Micah Parsons officially has come out and said that he is requesting a trade from the team. Now, Parsons is entering his final year of his rookie contract and is due a fully guaranteed $24 million for the 2025 season. Now, he is looking to become the NFL's highest paid non-quarterback, eclipsing TJ Watt's $41 million annual salary. Now, he went out and made a statement on social media saying, "Yes, I wanted to be here. I did everything I could to show that I wanted to be a Cowboy and wear the star on my helmet. I wanted to play in front of the best fans in sports and make this America's team once again. The team my pops and I grew up cheering for way up in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Unfortunately, I no longer want to be here. I no longer want to be held to a closed-door negotiation without my agent present. I no longer want shots taken at me for getting injured while laying it on the line for the organization, our fans, and my teammates. I no longer want narratives created and spread to the media about me. I have purposely stayed quiet in hopes of getting something done." Now, that's definitely a lie, especially him saying that he no longer wants to be over there in Dallas, which opens a whole can of worms for a lot of other teams to possibly come in and make a deal done. I know that the Dallas Cowboys hasn't come out and said that they wanted to trade him away, but if Micah Parsons isn't happy and he doesn't want to stay there, at the end of the day, he could possibly find his way out. Now, I say all of this to say, what would it take the Raiders to bring Micah Parsons here to Las Vegas? I know what you guys all might be thinking. And of course, I know a lot of Raider fans, including myself, when somebody does become available or requests a trade, we always kind of put it back to the Raiders and say, you know, maybe we could go out and get him. Heck, when you look at Bovada, according to them, the Raiders have the highest chances of the highest odds of bringing in Micah Parsons. But the question is, what would it take the Raiders to bring him in? Now, according to Adam Schefter, he tweeted this out saying, a potential trade comp for Micah Parsons. Now, when a 27-year-old Khalil Mack was traded from Oakland to Chicago, the Bears gave up 2 first-round picks, a 3rd-round pick, and a 6th-round pick for Mack, a 2nd-round pick, and a conditional 5th-round pick. So he's putting it out there that whatever it took the Bears to get Khalil Mack away from us, it's most likely what it's going to take to get Micah Parsons away from Dallas. Now, could the Raiders do this? Of course they can. I think that we have all the assets to do this, especially after releasing Christian Wilkins for kissing his teammates. But the real question is, will they? And honestly, to me, I don't think that the Raiders are going to be interested in even getting Micah Parsons. I don't even think that they're going to go out and entertain this whole notion of bringing Micah Parsons over here. I feel like right now the Raiders have all the pieces in place to at least go out and play some solid defense. Just knowing Pete Carroll and the way he develops his talents, especially young talents that are looking for a chance, especially on this defensive line, because we have a lot of young players on this defensive line. We've talked about it before, and going into the season, I think that Pete Carroll has a lot of trust in the players that we have on the roster right now. So much so that I don't think that they're going to be eyeing a guy like Micah Parsons. Even though we could possibly get him, it's going to cost the Raiders a lot, and it's going to cost the Raiders our future draft picks. And this team right now, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't see us as a Super Bowl winning team. We can win a couple of games here and there and look competitive out there, but we're not just one piece away from being a Super Bowl team. We're still going to have to build this team around, and we're going to have to build the culture that Pete Carroll wants over here. So those 1st-round picks that we might give up, and if it does cost 2 1st-round picks, heck, even 3 1st-round picks, that's a lot, especially if you're getting a guy in Micah Parsons. And also going to look to pay him the big bucks after we just extended Max Crosby, who recently was the highest paid non-quarterback for like a little bit until TJ Watt took that crown. But realistically, I don't see Micah Parsons coming to Las Vegas. I don't see the Raiders entertaining this. If it does happen by any means, heck, I'd be happy. You know, Micah Parsons, opposite of Max Crosby.
My neck and my back.
But I highly doubt that it happens. The same thing I can say for Terry McLaurin. I know that he recently requested a trade as well, and the Raiders could possibly bring him over here as well. But I don't think that the wide receiver position is that big of a need to trade away some assets, and I feel like it might not cost as much as Micah Parsons, but you're still going to bring him over here. And Terry McLaurin is looking to make no less than $30 million per year, and at that price, bro, you could stay over there. I don't think the Raiders need to do that. We got a guy over here in Jakobi Meyers. We got a lot of young guys over here that will take over that reign. And I seen all the Raider fans posting that picture that he had at the Senior Bowl, you know, pointing at the Raiders logo. That don't mean that he's going to come over here, though. If it happens, it happens. I know Terry McLaurin is one of the better receivers in the NFL, but I ain't paying that much to bring him over here. Heck, I'd rather go get somebody like Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase or somebody like that if we wanted to bring somebody in at the wide receiver position so he can go kick rocks. That being said, though, Raider Nation, what are your thoughts on this whole situation? What are your thoughts on Micah Parsons requesting a trade? And should the Raiders, if you were in the Raiders' shoes, would you trade at least 2 first-round picks and a couple more things on top of that to bring in Micah Parsons? Do you think it's worth it, or are you okay with the team that we have right now? And as far as Terry McLaurin, would you guys be open to bringing him over here, possibly even trading away Jakobi Meyers to get him? I seen a trade that said that we trade away Jakobi in a third or something like that, and at that price, I'd rather just stick with Jakobi Meyers, to be honest with you guys. But again, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, speaking of Jakobi Meyers, according to some sources out there and according to Ian Rappaport, it seems like the Raiders are looking to extend Jakobi Meyers next. And I think that's a good thing, especially knowing that Jakobi Meyers has been one of the better players that we've had, especially on the offensive side of the ball these past couple of years.
Jakobi Meyers, their standout receiver, one of their big ticket free agent signings a couple years back, has been excellent for this team. That is another player who is in talks with the organization about potentially a new deal, so you might see a couple players rewarded this summer in Las Vegas.
Now, Meyers, ever since he became a Raider, has been one of the more reliable wide receivers on the team. Heck, he has a 0% drop rate with the team, which is huge. And last season, he broke out for 1,000 yards, the first time in his career. And even though I don't initially see him as that true #1 wide receiver, he is the wide receiver 1 on the team right now. And with that said, you know, I really don't think that the Raiders have to go and bring anybody else in. I know I just recently talked about Terry McLaurin. I feel like the roster right now is solid. And one thing about Jakobi Meyers that is great is that he's not a diva. He's just going to go out there, put his head down, and just go and compete every single down, every single play. And when you look at the roster and the way it's shaped right now, especially in the wide receiver room, Jakobi Meyers is the veteran leader in that room. We got a lot of young guys looking to make a name for themselves and looking to be the future for the Raiders at the wide receiver position. We got guys like Jack Besh, who we drafted in the 2nd round. We got Dante Thornton Jr. We got Trey Tucker. Heck, and we got some other players that we brought in as well that could possibly make an impact. On top of that, we got 2 tight ends that seem like other receivers on the field as well, and Michael Mayer and Brock Bowers. It's a good thing that the Raiders are looking at keeping Jakobi Meyers at least for the foreseeable future, because he deserves a spot on this roster. And shout out to this new regime with John Spytek and Pete Carroll, man. They are definitely getting the job done this year, and they're keeping homegrown talent on the team and keeping players on this team that are going out there and giving it 110%. Heck, we've already extended multiple players. We talked about Max Crosby getting a 3-year, $106.5 million deal. Geno Smith, once he got traded over here, we gave him an extension of 2 years, $75 million. Then we locked in AJ Cole for 4 years, $15.8 million. Colton Miller just recently, 3 years, $66 million. Adam Butler for 3 years, $16.5 million. And the big goose, Isaiah Pola-Mao, for 2 years, $8.45 million. And when we heard from Colton Miller for the first time after he signed his extension, he talked about the message that this sends to the rest of the locker room, saying, I think it sends a great message to the team and the organization that they take care of their guys. I'm so glad to be a Raider. Like I said, I wanted to be a Raider for life. Their Muffer also added to that, saying that if John Spytek really likes you and how you work, he will keep you. And that is a good sign, especially for the front office. We've seen this team multiple times get rid of talent on this team that came and got drafted to this team, poured all on the field, just for them to get traded away or released from this team. Heck, the most recent example of this is Josh Jacobs, one of the better, or one of the top 5 running backs in the league. We wouldn't have to get Ashton Jeanty if we still had Josh Jacobs on the team. Now, I'm not going to say that I don't want Ashton Jeanty. I'm just saying it's a good thing when the organization takes care of the players that put their heart and soul on the field for the organization. So hopefully we can hear some news about Jakobi Meyers in the next coming days. So speaking of the organization, we finally got to see our minority owner, Tom Brady, the GOAT. show up to Raiders training camp for the very first time today. I mean, about time though shows up. I mean, he shows up to the training camp that I don't show up to. God damn, man. But it's crazy to see Tom Brady decked out in the silver and black at a Raiders training camp. This is the guy that we all hated for many, many years, especially after the Tuck rule. But to see him out there and to know that this new regime is starting to turn things around over here, and I just could feel the culture change over here. I mean, Pete Carroll, John Spytek, heck, Tom Brady.
My neck and my back.
It makes me even more excited for the season, which is going to start next week. On Thursday, we're going to play the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle, ironically, with their former head coach, Pete Carroll. It's going to be a fun one. I know preseason's always up and down, but I'm excited for it. I'm excited for every single week. I'm going to be at most of the games. I will be at the Niner-Raider preseason game over here in Allegiant Stadium, so if you see a notice, come say what's up. Until the next video, man, this is your boy, some more Raider, and your boy is, yeah.